Parents, what is the worst thing you've ever told your child? I told my 10-year-old son he was the reason our family was broken. The words came out during a horrible fight with my ex-husband, and Jake was listening from the stairs. I saw his face crumple before he ran to his room. Jake wasn't a typical kid. He'd spend hours organizing his toy cars by size and color instead of playing with them. He memorized entire documentaries about space and corrected adults when they got facts wrong. Other parents called him intense, when really he just saw the world differently. For months, Jake had been struggling at school. Not with grades, he was brilliant. But the new principal, Mr. Davidson, had been pushing hard to get him into a special behavioral program. Every week brought another meeting, another incident report about how Jake didn't follow social cues or disrupted class by asking too many questions. My ex-husband blamed me for being too soft. I blamed him for not showing up to meetings. We fought constantly, using Jake as ammunition in our war. That night, when I said those terrible words, I became exactly what Mr. Davidson claimed I was, an unfit parent who couldn't handle a difficult child. Jake stopped talking after that. Not completely, but to me. He'd answer in one-word responses, eat dinner in silence, and disappear into his room. His teacher called saying he'd stopped participating in class. Even his obsessive organizing stopped. Then I found his notebook. Hidden under his mattress was a journal where he'd been documenting everything. Every meeting with Davidson, every time a teacher sighed when he raised his hand, every fight between his parents. But the last entry broke me. Mom thinks I ruined everything. Maybe if I was normal, Dad wouldn't have left. That's when I realized what was really happening. I pulled Jake's school records, requested all communication between staff about him. What I found made my blood boil. Emails between Davidson and district officials discussing funding increases for special programs. A note about targeting borderline kids who could qualify with the right documentation. Jake's name highlighted on a list titled Potential Transfers. They weren't trying to help Jake. They were trying to use him. I hired a lawyer with money I didn't have, gathered other parents whose kids had been suddenly labeled as problems. Turned out, Davidson had transferred from another district after similar accusations, but the damage was done. Jake still wouldn't look at me the same way. So I did something I never thought I'd do. I pulled him from school entirely, started homeschooling while fighting the legal battle. 6 months later, Davidson was under investigation. 3 families had joined the lawsuit. The special program lost its funding, but Jake and I were still rebuilding. One night, while working on astronomy homework together, Jake finally spoke more than 3 words. Mom, do you still think I broke our family? I put down the pencil and looked at my brilliant, different, perfect son. No, baby. I broke it by not protecting you, by not seeing you were never the problem. You were the solution. You showed me what really mattered. Jake nodded, then went back to calculating orbital velocities. But for the first time in months, he leaned against my shoulder while he worked.